Today we're going to be talking about if 45 Colt is actually enough for self-defense. How's it going, guys, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. My name is Chad and this is the Hopeful Homestead. You're out here right now with me by my little tiny cabin on wheels that I've parked out at my family's little campsite that I built here on our 21-acre property that we're calling the Hopeful Homestead. And today I'm talking about how I think 45 Colt is more than enough for true self-defense purposes. I've talked a lot about why I think 45 Colt is a very capable cartridge with regards to farm work, keeping wildlife management, keeping control of pests around your farm, around your property. I think 45 Colt is great for that. But I do believe that obviously 45 Colt is very capable of being a cartridge you can rely on in self-defense. If you're a revolver guy like I am, a lot of people talk about 357 Magnum and 38 Special as being the go-to. And I get that because it's a lot more readily available and a lot cheaper to purchase. Ballistically, on paper, it sounds a lot more attractive. 357 Magnum can pull off some pretty impressive velocities given its size and form factor compared to rifle cartridges. But I personally believe that 45 Colt, if you've seen any of the videos out there on YouTube that talk about the wound channel that 45 Colt produces, just take a look at some of those videos. There's some that have been done with replica gel, heads, gel torsos, and the damage that is done, even from cowboy load, like, stuff that's only going 700 feet per second, super slow 45 Colt loads do massive damage. So anybody who scoffs at the concept of 45 Colt being a formidable round just hasn't done enough research and just doesn't know what they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, it's still a 250-ish grain bullet traveling at about 700 feet per second minimum with, that's a big old heavy bullet. That's a flat nose bullet that's gonna have a wide dispersed amount of energy upon a heavy impact on a two-legged threat. And when you look at some of those videos that have broken down how the wound channel actually ends up playing out, it's gnarly. I mean, you get, a bullet that's this big around producing a wound channel, this big around, with various fragments and whatnot shooting off from the actual bullet as it passes through. And yes, because it's not traveling that fast, it doesn't penetrate that deep. It only goes, 8 or so inches into a typical ballistics gel scenario. But that wound channel is just massive. And so if you're getting a headshot with that, it's lights out. If you're getting a torso shot anywhere near vitals, that's lights out. And if you get 2 shots on target, you're taking care of your threat at that point. If you're using 45 Colt as your personal defense weapon of choice, obviously these things are revolvers. 45 Colt's only coming out of a revolver. No, it doesn't. To my knowledge, there's no semi-auto 45 Colt guns that exist. If there is one, please let me know because I'm definitely going to check it out. It's for the most part a revolver cartridge. It's what it was designed for originally. Yes, you can get carbines, lever action rifles, and whatnot that can be offered in 45 Colt as well, which is also a great thing, especially for home defense. You could have the same cartridge be what's in your revolver for your personal defense on your person, and then have a nice lever action that's can hold anywhere between 8 to 12 rounds of it depending on the barrel length, and that's plenty of ammunition. Because as I was saying before, looking at those videos of the wound channels that 45 Colt produces, you are not going to be needing to hit more than once or twice on target to take someone out, even with the low velocity stuff. The amount of energy those bullets carry into someone is just astounding. If you've got a big old revolver, and like I have here, this little Cimarron Thunderball right here, and I only carry 5 rounds in here because of it being a true single action army clone with that firing pin on the hammer. And 5 rounds is more than enough for what I would need it for in a true self-defense scenario, where it's just a single threat that is presenting a life and death danger scenario to you. You can take care of business with 5 rounds. There's no problem with that. I would maybe recommend, if you're going to be concealed carrying one of these bad boys, which I might eventually pick one up, getting as short of a barrel as you can. Maybe get a 3.5 inch barrel, whatever the smallest barrel length you can get in one of these big old revolvers, and be able to carry that inside of a jacket. You could technically carry it in the waistband if you wanted to, or over the waistband with a long shirt covering it up or something. That's how I would see this being realistic. You're not going to be carrying this inside the waistband too comfortably, even the smaller version, but certainly not a 4 3/4 inch barrel version like this. But to me, 45 Colt, there's nothing, you cannot refute that it is a formidable round when it comes to actually doing the job of self-defense. Don't just take my word for it. Go out there on YouTube and check out some of those ballistics gel tests and some of those torso and head gel tests. It's gnarly what this stuff can do. It's not always about what ammunition is best on paper when it comes to ballistics and foot-pounds of energy and all of the fancy things that people talk about when it comes to firearms and which ammo to use. 45 Colt has been around for 150 years for a reason. It is very capable. It is a heavy bullet that will do plenty of damage, and it will ensure that you only need to get 1 or 2 shots on target, and you'll be fine. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. Again, my name is Chad. This is the Hopeful Homestead, and I hope you choose to stick around because I'm going to be sharing my family's journey as we build our farmhouse on this property here over the next few months. And it's going to be quite a journey. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'd really appreciate it if you were here for the journey, for all the fun moments as we build and move out here and start living the life that we're so excited to live here on the Hopeful Homestead. But if you feel like sticking around today, I've got a video right here that's all about why I love 45 Colt and 22 long rifle. So go check that video out, and I'll see you over there very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.